Next on Worcester News tonight, several people are charged with assaulting police officers after a fight outside a Worcester bar. Plus, local high school students are recognized for their efforts to create awareness on safe driving. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemmon. A cool and cloudy start to the work week, and it looks like we won't see much of a change in the next few days. Let's get a first look at our local forecast for more. Hey there, good evening to you. I'm meteorologist Pamela Gardner. Well, we continue to see some specks of drizzle, mostly cloudy skies, and we stay cool for the rest of tonight. Spot shower chance again, plus drizzle Tuesday and Wednesday, and then more showers once we get towards the Halloween forecast. It could be some heavy rain from time to time too. I'll show you that a little bit later. For this evening, our temperatures stay in the low 50s to upper 40s. We had a cool afternoon and cloudy day, and that's going to be the case for this evening. Some fog developing by 11 o'clock once we fall near dew point. There could also be more drizzle redeveloping. An east wind overnight tonight will keep those temperatures in the 40s and 50s all along the coastline as well as across central Massachusetts, and tomorrow we'll be in the low to mid 50s. More clouds in the forecast too. So a few gray days, then rain for Halloween, and all that behind us as we see a sunny weekend. I'll see you in just a bit for the 10-day. Worcester's Beer Garden is adding more security. The move comes after a fight broke out early Saturday morning. Police say some of the people involved assaulted their officers and are now facing charges. Our Chandler Walsh spoke with people in downtown Worcester today. She joins us now with more. Chandler.
Olivia, Worcester police say they were helping to move a crowd of hundreds of people out of the beer garden and multiple fights broke out. They say several people were resisting police orders and assaulted officers. Chaos in downtown Worcester. Cell phone video captures altercations with Worcester police outside of the beer garden. The department says several officers were kicked, punched, bitten, and shoved. Mallory Keogh lives nearby and was stunned by what she saw.
When we looked out the window, all we saw was like a swarm of 30 policemen plus with a lot of drunk people wandering in the streets, a lot of cars parked that couldn't move.
Watching the cell phone video for a closer view, Keogh says it matches what she saw. She and others in the area say this is the only time something like this has happened.
The noise goes on, but that's normal bar stuff, but I've never seen anything or heard anything from any of the bars on that strip.
Never seen any violence there at all. It's always usually a very good crowd.
The woman who took the video says she wanted to show both sides. Others like Aviana Lugo agree, saying actions from all parties were excessive.
Too much. I understand getting slammed is not nice, but biting isn't either.
The beer garden says they decided to close early after a fight broke out inside. This commotion then began outside while they were closing. They say in a statement, this was an isolated incident which does not reflect the behavior of our regular beer garden guests who come to socialize responsibly. Worcester police arrested 6 people. Most are facing charges of assault and battery on an officer.
It's disappointing. The area is really cleaning up lately, but something like that is, it's not a good look for the city.
The beer garden says they were not at maximum occupancy and had police detail and security at the time. 6 people will be arraigned tomorrow on multiple charges, again including resisting arrest and assault and battery on an officer. In Worcester, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester police closed portions of Front and Church Street downtown to investigate the death of a woman. Witnesses tell us the woman fell from 100 Front Street. Police and emergency workers were on scene. Police tape surrounded the area. We will bring you the latest details as they become available. Closing arguments are set for Tuesday in the trial of the man charged in the crash killing State Trooper Thomas Clardy. Attorneys for David Njuguna disputed the speed prosecutors say he was going at the time of the crash. Police say Clardy was killed when a truck driven by Njuguna slammed into Clardy's cruiser on the Mass Pike in Charlton in 2016. This is a bench trial, so a judge will decide if Njuguna is innocent or guilty. The Worcester County District Attorney's Child Advocacy Center receives national reaccreditation from the National Children's Alliance. The CAC works with young victims and witnesses of sexual abuse. It allows the victims to talk about their trauma in a comfortable environment. DA Joe Early Jr. says it can be difficult for a young person to talk about what happened to them. With the CAC, the child only has to tell the story once.
The people who do this work every day, they're doing God's work. They really make it easier for families in what obviously is going to be one of the toughest situations they'll ever face in their lives.
The forensic interviewers wear an earpiece, and in their ear, sometimes the prosecutors will be asking them questions, just so that we can ensure that the child is asked every single question necessary to maintain the elements of a crime, if there is one. And so that makes sure that we, the police officers, DCF, have all of our questions answered at the same time.
In just the past year, the CAC has interviewed more than 350 victims and witnesses between the ages of 4 and 18. Congressman Jim McGovern announces the House Rules Committee will begin work on a resolution to ensure transparency in the impeachment inquiry into the conduct of President Donald Trump. McGovern will introduce the resolution Tuesday, and it will be marked up in the Rules Committee on Wednesday. In a statement, Congressman McGovern says this is a solemn time for our country. With our existing authority under the Constitution and the rules of the House, Congress has been investigating serious allegations involving President Trump and Ukraine. There is mounting evidence the president abused his power and betrayed our national security while compromising the integrity of America's elections. The House of Representatives may soon vote to officially recognize the Armenian genocide. Worcester Congressman Jim McGovern is leading the way. The issue looks at whether the U.S. should recognize what happened to the Armenians from 1915 to 1923 as a genocide. More than 1.5 million Armenians were killed. One Nichols College professor says Congress has considered a similar resolution before, only to pull back under pressure from Turkey.
I think to have a vote that confirms Turkey's role in this historical moment as committing a genocide, I think that's particularly important in this moment in time when we're having this conflict in northern Syria with Turkey.
And the Turkish embassy warned in a statement this week against any attempt by the House to pass judgment on the events of 1915. A U.S. raid leads to the death of the world's most wanted terrorist. The founder and head of ISIS killed himself as American troops closed in, but as a Worcester State University professor explains, it does not mean the fight against ISIS is over. Dr. Najib Saliba says Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi's death weakens ISIS, but it may only be temporary. He says the underlying factors, including war in Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as the destabilization of Syria and Libya, need to be addressed.
These are very important factors that produced somebody like Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. If we keep these factors festering, we will have more Baghdadis in the Middle East.
Dr. Saliba says there are many people who will work to replace Baghdadi. He says the U.S. needs to become more neutral to the problems in the Middle East. A 35-year-old man was found shot in the leg in his apartment building on Park Avenue in Worcester this weekend. Police say the victim's injuries are considered non-life-threatening. The incident was reported Sunday evening. Police are investigating, but there is limited information on the suspect or suspects at this time. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to contact police. Northbridge High School students win first place in a statewide contest. The students took home the grand prize for their work in a safe driving video contest. Our Valerie Bell spoke with the students today. She joins us now with more. Valerie.
Yeah, Olivia, Massachusetts Department of Transportation holds this contest each year, and for the last 5 years, students at Northbridge have been entering as part of their curriculum for their broadcasting class. Now, the students were very excited to get first place for the first time for this school, and their teacher said that she was very proud as well.
Dude, get off your phone. Patrick, I'm just changing a song. Relax.
No, watch out!
Deborah Herbert's broadcast production class put a lot of work into sending an important message.
1 in 4 deaths in motor vehicle accident involve people either walking or biking.
And the Northbridge High School students made the grade, winning the grand prize in the MASSDOT Safe Driving Video Contest.
On top of it, you go to their annual conference, and to have a bunch of teenagers walk into a room of about 750 adults is a little intimidating, but it was quite the experience for them.
The theme for this year's contest was Scan the Street for Wheels and Feet.
We wanted to make a video kind of showing drivers not to be distracted on the road, always be scanning both ways.
Because distracted driving is one of the leading causes of car accidents, the students chose to highlight putting down your cell phone before getting behind the wheel.
Dude, get off your phone. I'm just changing the song. Hold on.
They titled their 60-second PSA, Don't Choose a Song Over a Life, because they said it's something teens can relate to.
A lot of teens can relate to going on their phone when driving, even though you shouldn't, whether it's texting, changing a song.
Each of the 10 students with a specific role.
I wrote the script for it. I directed it, I filmed it, I edited it.
But I was the guy driving the car. I was the one that was distracted.
Adam, people.
Oh my God, no, watch out! It felt kind of weird being in that role, just knowing that just looking down at my phone for a split second can change so many others' lives.
2 years ago, Northbridge students won 3rd place in the statewide contest. So this year's students were excited to earn the top prize.
We were all kind of shocked. We were all high-fiving.
To be recognized statewide, it was definitely an honor for it.
They said it took them about 3 weeks to complete the entire project. In the studio, Valerie Bell, Worcester News Tonight.
Weeks after the restaurant had its liquor license seized, there are signs the Bull Mansion in Worcester is closing, but it's unclear when it will officially happen. In mid-September, the state's Department of Revenue seized the restaurant's liquor license for failure to pay almost $60,000 in meal taxes. A notice on the restaurant's front door on Pearl Street and the business's voicemail message say the Bull Mansion has ceased operations. However, owner Victoria Mariano tells Worcester News Tonight the restaurant will still host 3 or 4 events in the coming weeks which don't require liquor sales.